Greetings once again, mages out there. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with another chapter of Fairy Tale, 100 Years Quest. Where previously, Team Natsu finally parted ways with Jalal, with Jalal and Urza sharing a moment in a heart-to-heart, where Jalal revealed that he had finally taken interest in joining the Fairy Tale Guild, something Urza was very much happy about. Meanwhile, while the rest of the team, like in any RPG, goes to a bar to find out information on Ignia's supposed guild, Fire and Flame. Although more specifically, they ask about the Fire God's castle. And while the bartender wards them off for the most part, it is then that they're set upon by a man named Brian, which is an unassuming name for a person with mouths in their hand, who has the weird interest in eating anything and everything, even being able to absorb Natsu's fire after Natsu fights him back after he tries to consume Happy and Carla. Brian proves himself fairly durable against Natsu's attacks, but leaves of his own volition ultimately, with Team Natsu being warned by the bartender that Brian is a member of Fire and Flame, a dark guild. Dark guild crushing is our hero's speciality. So, what is the nature of Fire and Flame? Why is it that Ignia leads it? And what other kinds of odd entities exist therein? Join me as I find out, won't you? Right, Fairy Tale, 100 Years Quest Chapter 157, Fire and Flame. I guess we reach our destination. Interesting Lavi hanging out with Word. Yeah, I've really seen the old man in a good long time, too. I can't get over that bar name, Beacock. Wow. We pick up with Brian having exited the bar, leaving Team Natsu aghast at that strange encounter, which is saying something because they've had plenty of strange encounters in the past. The bartender once again warns them, saying, "Hey, are you listening?" But Natsu, he's too pissed. With eyes filled with rage, he says, "I told that jerk to wait." And naturally, in a very Natsu-like manner, he goes racing through the bar doors, and I mean through them. He shatters them on impact, following behind Brian, shouting in a rage. Lucy calls out to him saying, "Natsu, wait!" While Gray turns to the bartender, questioning, "Hey, you mentioned Fire and Flame just now, didn't you?" Remembering the Signario sisters mentioning that they are members of Fire and Flame, he tells them, "We've been looking for them." The bartender looks down, saying, You're better off not getting involved with them. They're a dark guild after all. They're a dark guild. All of their members use fire magic." Huh, really? Didn't seem like Brian used fire magic. And the Signario sisters too? The whole guild of fire magic users? Then again, we know the versatility of fire magic. Wendy is shocked, saying, "All of them use fire magic?" Carla notes, not much variety there. While Happy questions, "Hey, you really do know about the Fire God's castle, don't you?" The bartender pauses, but ultimately relents, saying it's their headquarters. The guild master is a young man named Ignia, much to the shock of Team Natsu, which, yeah. Although, hasn't anyone kind of noted the fact that he seems to have been alive for a long time? Unless Ignia has only recently started up, or it's a situation where he's just kind of said, "Oh, I'm the child of the previous guild master," or something like that. Well, that seems like a lot of hoops I couldn't really picture him going through. The bartender continues on, saying, "Though he's had the same appearance for many years now, so I suspect he might not be human." Okay. So it's already been noted that he hasn't changed at all in years. Oh, and then we pick up with Ignia in the Fire God's castle. He greets Luso and Annie, who's saying, "You're finally back, Signario's sister. How long were they gone?" Annie looks down, saying, "Our humblest apologies." While Luso notes, "Vernus captured us. They still have the gold owl symbols on their shoulders. Wonder if that'll change." Ignia smiles, saying, "But Vernus is dead now." Well, so they really did kill him. Alderon and Dog Ramog too. That reminds me, have you met Natsu? Any state, "I have a faint memory of him." While Luso saying, "He's probably the one that took down Vernus." Ignia notes, "For over 100 years, nobody could beat the dragon gods, and here he is, defeating one after another, and Mercuphobia and Selene are on the human side now. I actually like that. I like that some of the dragons were outright taken out, others joined the cause. But let's be real, Vernus was never gonna stop what he was doing. Dog-Ramag was technically already dead, but he would have been an enemy too. Alderaan was an interesting situation, all things considered. Ignia gives a wicked sneer, saying, "But I'm the one who's gonna win." Luso and Annie then smile a wicked smile as well. We then see what all of Team Natsu is doing. Urza still seeing off Jalal, Gray, Lucy, and Wendy back at the bar, and Natsu following Brian, with Ignia saying they haven't realized yet the reason why Dog-Ramag built the Great Labyrinth, that the content of Giltina will burn one day. Natsu manages to catch up to Brian, shouting, "Hold up!" while Brian seems to just be skipping down the street, calling back, "Full tummy, full tummy. I don't need any more flames." He then stops, noting flames, and comes to a shocking realization. He turns and points to Natsu, questioning, "You're a fire wizard." What gave you the first clue? It seems to annoy Natsu, but also take him off guard at the same time. Brian questions, "You use fire magic back there, right?" Natsu says, "So what?" And Brian tells him, "Wanna join forces with us? Like, crackle, crackle? Get along like fire crackling?" Natsu is a bit taken off guard, and Brian explains, "We're gathering fire wizards together." And of course, Natsu just decks him in the face, telling him to shut up. Brian is sent flying, and Natsu tells him, "After what you said about my friends, I got no intention of being friends with you." But though being struck down, Brian grins, and he spews flames from one of the hands on it, and one of the mouths on his hand, saying, "You can die then." And Natsu just eats those flames, much to Brian's shock. Natsu smiles and wipes his face, saying, "Phew, thanks for the grub." Brian knows, "Ooh, you eat flames too? Wanna see which one of us eats so much he falls down first?" Natsu smiles, saying, "I don't want any more of your crappy flames." Natsu charges in with the fire dragons, and Brian notes, "Fire dragon?" Natsu goes to unleash Fire Dragon's talons on Brian's head. Oh, what the hell? Can he just make mouths anywhere? Brian flips his top hat, and then teeth just emerge from the top of it. Much to Natsu's shock, and bites down on his foot. Natsu screams out in pain as Brian just flips his neck and sends Natsu flying. Brian smiles at Natsu, saying, "Fire dragon? Don't tell me you're that Natsu kid Ignia mentioned." Yep. And Natsu shocked, saying, "Ignia?" Brian explains, saying, "He told us to bring you to him if we find you. You coming?" I actually love this guy's personality. I mean, I don't think he'll be prominent in the future, but you don't get a lot of people who can really kind of throw Natsu off kilter like this and not have them be somewhat prominent to some degree in the future. I hope he doesn't become just a generic mook later. Natsu smiles wide, saying, "Of course I am, but I need to talk to everyone real quick first." Brian tells him, "No need." And Natsu questions this, but then suddenly something catches his attention. He says, "The smell." And he turns. What the hell? Seeing nothing but scorched earth all around him. What happened? What the hell? Brian simply says, "Your past has disappeared." And Natsu notes the town's ash? What? Was this some kind of special skill? Is it an illusion by the Signario sisters? I mean, that's a possibility. What happened? Or is it possible that the whole place was an illusion? So strange. I mean, it was definitely a cliffhanger to just kind of leave us wanting more and questioning things, and you got me there, but I'm at a loss for what I could possibly think had happened here. I do like the nature of these guys. I hope they're tough. I want these guys to be really tough. Not to say that the other fights that we've had throughout the series haven't been tough. Not at all. But I'll be honest, the battles were at their most interesting when we were dealing with Diablos. They felt like the most challenge we've had. And not to say that Gold Owl wasn't a bit of a challenge, but they didn't quite compare. We really built up a rivalry and a repertoire with Diablos. So that's the thing, you made two interesting aside characters, and when you built up their four strongest, they felt strong. And Kirin, Haku, Misaki, Suzaku, they felt tough to me. Like, they felt like proper challenges. So I'm hoping we can build that same momentum. The Scenario Sisters were tough, but the way their abilities were utilized is a thing that kind of threw me a bit, because, you know, they showed abilities that were like instant win abilities, and then they got sloppy fighting Urza. That the whole Gold Owl thing still kind of irks me a little bit, because it's just like, no, some of these guys should have been a lot tougher to defeat than anything else. Like, they had abilities that easily disabled our heroes. From Sai, there's the Scenario Sisters. They had set ability. Now, it would have been one thing if our heroes overpowered them, but it's that the villains didn't use those abilities again. So, this is the finale. I need Mashima to stick the landing on this one. We've entered into the whole situation with Fire and Flame in a very interesting manner, but things really have to ramp up like pretty big, because I mean, I think we would need to get like a whole bunch of characters involved to really make it like an epic final battle. I mean, unless they're waiting to the whole Fire and Flame thing takes place first, and then Igneous plan is set into motion after the fact. So the Fire and Flame situation is not the finale, it's kind of the precursor to the finale. So we'll see. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I will admit, I am loving Brian. Brian is fun. Just because he just keeps throwing Natsu off, and just the weird nature of his abilities or whatever is going on there. Like, how does it relate to fire? Is it just that they use fire magic in conjunction with other things? Because the whole mouths appearing all over him, like, that's not just purely fire magic. So it would be interesting if they have some element of fire magic to them. But because of everything, that means that Natsu can't really overpower him with his usual techniques, because they all know how to deal with fire magic. That could be actually an interesting angle if that's what we're going with. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you later. Till then, bye-bye.